name is Spencer Morabino, speaking on behalf of my group with Nicole Pedig, Abby Derner, Tucker Beckman, Spencer Collison, and I'm speaking for the affirmative, and I have the pleasure to get the opportunity to speak on the topic of Malcolm X and his death, and whether or not there was an organized conspiracy to kill this man. Now, start off with a few facts. Malcolm X, his home was actually firebombed by Bossy, which is an underground organized crime ring that had ties with the FBI because they got away with some things because they would do some of the dirty work for the FBI. And they firebombed his house, and the actual explanation that was given was, oh, maybe Malcolm X did this to himself to make it look like somebody was trying to kill him. Now, moving on into a mission trip that Malcolm X took to Egypt, where he was poisoned, and that was left with many questions. No real answers were given as to why, who killed him, and what happened. He talked to a congressman over there, and the congressman said, "Somebody wants you dead," and that's all he said. And so Malcolm X barely made it back to the U.S. alive, and he made it back. And on the night that Malcolm X gave his speech, where he was in fact murdered, there were only 2 security officers, when there had not ever been any less than 5 security officers assigned to him at all of his gatherings. And I find that a little bit suspect, that there were only 2 there, and they were actually in the other room while Malcolm was shot. Now, Malcolm was on a raised stage. He was 2 to 3 stairs above the rest of the crowd, and the reports say that he was shot from the bottom where all the people were standing, when actually in the autopsy, the bullets were, the entrance hole was at the top, and the exit holes were at the bottom, so all the bullets were actually pointing downwards, which doesn't make any sense if they were shot from the ground. And there was a balcony that was closed off. It was restricted access. Nobody was allowed up there. But again, that could have been special access granted to somebody who wanted him dead, like the FBI. Now, after he died, after Malcolm X died, one of his closest advisors, like a secretary that he had, went to the FBI and said that he feels as if there were a greater conspiracy involving parts of the government that played in Malcolm's death, and they kind of brushed him off. They told him, "No, you're ridiculous, you're crazy." He went back home to his apartment. The next day, he was found dead in his apartment. When he was found dead in his apartment, the original cause of death was ruled as suicide. Then the cause of death was ruled to a drug overdose, and then after that, it was ruled to death of natural causes. And it's kind of a suspect thing that he would be dead right after that, and also that the cause of death would be ruled so many different times as to what it was. Now, all of these things lead up to why the facts prove that Malcolm X was murdered by the FBI and there was a conspiracy. And that's all I have. I now stand for questioning.